Alright, can you guys hear me? Hello? Checking. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I told you guys we're only going to keep this about 15 minutes. That way if people want to watch it, what I'm going to do really quick just so people can start it and stop it, I'm going to actually stop the stream and restart it really quick so it's going to black out. So, anyways. So I'll be right back. Give me one. So let me stop the stream. Alright. So what we're actually going to use to review today, guys, is we're actually going to go to Prezi. I told you we're probably going to be doing an assignment with this coming up anyways. And I made this one a while ago, and I just figured it'd be really quick and easy to review this. So if you're wondering what it takes, you gotta have an email to sign up, and password, make a password. And these are random ones, I made as samples or used with my students in the past. Anyways, so. Jabril, I appreciate you being here. It makes it easier. I don't have to watch the chat as closely. Jabril, in case you were wondering, is one of my former students, and he has mod powers and all that kind of stuff, so makes it easier. So, we talked about the amendment. There goes my sound. I'll make this one available for us to watch on my school website as I get more and more stuff up to date. Anyways, so the 14th Amendment. There's only two amendments you have to know for this test, 14th and 1. Or first. The 14th Amendment is going to be anything to do with citizenship. Yes, that's Halo music you hear in the background. So, here's the official definition. Any person born or naturalized inside becoming a citizen. Essentially, you just need to know, anytime you see citizenship and it's asking for amendment, we're talking 14th. 50-50 shot, worst case, 14 or 1. But just know that there's no need to even guess any other number. It's 14 or 1. If it says citizenship, it's 14th. If we're talking rights, it's first. So, two ways to become a citizen. You can be born or naturalized. There is another way by blood. That kind of still goes by birth, because obviously your parents have to be already American citizens. So just focus on birth and naturalization. So I told you the key word right here, diverse. It's going to be on the test. Pretty much this is exactly a test question. It's going to be worded saying like immigration and naturalization has made our country especially blank in the 20th century. Or it might be reversed. We're saying our country has become very diverse in the 20th century because of immigration and naturalization. I mean, I'm just telling you that's going to be a test question right there. So to become a citizen, we also discussed some of the things you need to do, the steps, sign up, the living here for 5 years, 3 if you marry an American citizen, the interview, and the test. I tend to ask more questions about the test, that's why I made sure I spent time on it. So you have to have basic knowledge of American history. I did forget to put in this Prezi government, so that's my fault. American history / government. You have to be able to read, write, and speak English. So, before I jump into the amendment, First Amendment, I just want to make sure I covered everything here. If you're just visiting, what are you called? Let's see if you guys can answer in the chat. Let's see how interactive we can make. The music's too loud. There. Music's off. Anyways, what do you guys think? What are you called if you're just visiting a country? Go ahead and type the answer in the chat box. Good, good. Well, at least I got a couple people participating. So yeah, it is an alien. You're correct, okay? And then when you permanently move somewhere, it's immigrant or immigration. All right. So we went over the times. What's the very last step called that we haven't talked about yet? So you're doing naturalization. You get to the very end. What's that last little bit that you have to attend? Not the loyalty oath. Try again. You're close. You're really close. I mean, oath would give you enough to get it, because I'm not going to try and trick you on the test. But you're missing a word. You're missing two. Well, oath of. No, not really talking about court hearing. It's the oath of what? It was a word we had on the little Jeopardy review we were doing today in class. Synonym for loyalty. There you go. So, it's oath of allegiance. Okay, oath of allegiance. So that's what we're talking about in the last step. So we talked about 14th, we talked about naturalization, birth, alien, immigration. What are some of the reasons that immigrants might come to America? So what might they write down as like their reason for coming here? I gave you 3. See if you can name one. Anybody remember them? I mean, you guys can have your notes out and be looking at them if you need to. They could come here for refuge. That's a more modern day answer. I'm not going to say you're wrong. That was not one of the 3 we talked about. All right, education, work were 2 of them. I'm not asking how they become citizens. I'm asking what are the reasons they come here. School, so education, work, and the other one that maybe you don't remember is like they're visiting relatives. They're visiting family that's already here. But refuge isn't necessarily a bad answer. Man, Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and go to the First Amendment. So, a reminder of our freedoms for the First Amendment. Religion, press, petition, speech, and assembly. I think I even spelled speech wrong. Wow. So, religion. Government can't tell you what religion you're going to... Man, my spelling here is horrible. Religion. I got to double check this. Government can't tell you to believe in a religion or to believe in any religion at all. You have the freedom of choice. So, the reason we have that moment of silence in the morning, if you want to pray, you can. I can't tell you you're going to be a Catholic or you're going to be, Jewish or whatever the case may be, or you have to be any religion. So you have every right to choose whether or not how much you want to be involved, if you want to be involved at all in any type of religion. The government, there's a separation of church and state. So, and by the way, if you don't have me as your teacher, I'm completely fine with helping you out. I mean, you can ask my former students here. I had students with doing the review sessions with me that were other teachers' students. So that's completely fine. So we cover religion. That one's going to be pretty straightforward. Pretty much if you see a question where there's a cross or they tend to stick to the 3 monotheistic religions. So if you see a Christianity symbol, Jewish symbol, or a Islam symbol, they're trying to get you to say, hey, they have freedom of religion. They can be whatever religion they want. That's usually a telltale sign that's what they're going for. Just pay attention to make sure they mention anything about a church or a mosque or temple, any of those things. They're going for religion. Oh, next one. So speech, okay, people are allowed to express their opinions and beliefs. This is where you can say what you want even if people don't want to hear it. Unfortunately, this gives the right for people to say some mean things that we don't necessarily agree with. And the fact of the matter is once we start telling one person what they can say or can't say, well, who gets to decide what's acceptable or not? So while this allows some people maybe that we don't want to, hear necessarily, like the KKK or other discriminatory groups, it also allows the everyday person to voice their opinions. Where in some countries, if you say, the government's horrible, you might end up in jail if you do so. Um, so, uh, looks like the stream froze on my screen. Or you guys are, oh, it's behind on my screen. Yeah. Anyways, so people are able to express their opinions, beliefs. This includes like your shirt, the clothing you wear is freedom of speech to an extent. Um, I don't want to say the protest word here because I don't want to confuse you. Let's save that for another one. But essentially, again, you can say what you want as long as it's not dangerous speech. So like going into a movie theater and yelling fire, fire, you can't do that because it's going to create a panic. If someone were to die, you would be responsible for that, because it was your action, your speech, that caused everybody else to react that way, and therefore you can now be found culpable. Yes, I know I'm a horrible speller, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't spell check this. Yeah, that's why I teach social studies. Stay away from English, grammar. Freedom of the press. Now, I taught you guys this today in class. What other word can the press be described as? So we have... I don't want you guys to swear. No. Anyways. Oh, I did. Are you talking about in the notes, Caleb? Yeah, in the notes, you could not. Yeah, it does say that, like in public schools, you're not supposed to do that, anyways. Very good, Daniela. It is media. So the press today is going to be called the media. They don't say press anymore because it used to be only newspapers. I mean, that was what we had when the founders were here. But now we have TV, we have radio, we have internet. So media is what they call it today. But the freedom is called freedom of press. So they have the right to publish this information about people. As long as it's true, they will never get in trouble. So the only time that we have to really worry about it is if all of a sudden they start making up stuff. Now, I know you guys learned a term years past, yellow journalism. Well, they actually have terms, legal terms. So let's see if you remember it. What is a written lie? So if you wrote in a newspaper or you wrote in an internet blog, do you remember the term of what it was called? Nobody remembers? All right, well, we'll move on. It was libel. So libel was when essentially like you wrote down a lie like on the internet or newspapers or anything like that. What I asked Nora was what is it called when you have a written lie? So I was going for libel. Let's see, do you guys remember what a spoken lie is? So like if you go on TV and you were to just outright lie about an issue, what are you committing? What could they sue you for? Anybody remember? Ah, see, now your guys' spelling's coming out. There you go, slander. Very good, slander. Jabril, are you testing yourself? See if you remember all this stuff? I can't remember if you got a 600 or not. So, slander. Very good. Okay. So Again, they can publish information that we may not like. Their job is to basically, if the government's doing something wrong, they're supposed to expose it. And so as long as they're being truthful, they got nothing to worry about. So freedom of assembly. You have the right to peaceably assemble. Um, so you have the right to say, like, we want to get together. We want to, march. For instance, Dr. Martin Luther King, March on Washington, perfect example. That the key is gather peacefully. Once you start throwing stones, rocks, all that stuff, it becomes a riot. It's no longer gathered peacefully. It's not allowed. If you see a picture where there's a crowd of people, okay, not just 5 or 6, but I mean a crowd, the answer that's going to go for is freedom of assembly. Um, they Again, I know I could say the word protest here. I don't want you to associate that one with this term, just because it could. I don't want to get anybody confused. They kind of all work together. They're all under the First Amendment, anyways. But I just want to make sure that we're keeping them separate. So if you see a large group of people, uh, that's what we're going for, is assembly. And lastly, petition. Petition is the one that essentially is a protest. This is where, you see the clipboards with people going around signing, saying, please sign this petition, to get such and such action to happen. What they want to do is, they're trying to change something because they don't like it. This is basically our right to complain. We just call it protesting, so we're not saying we're complaining about everything. I can give you. I told you the instance in class today was like Korematsu versus United States, when we had the Japanese internment camps. They then sued the government and actually won and got reparations, meaning they got money back because they petitioned the government saying, like, you treated us unfairly, and they were basically vindicated. They were proven to be right. Yes, we were treated unfairly, and they got their money back. Okay? So that's pretty much it, guys. I told you it wouldn't be that long. I kept it to, 18 minutes? One thing I might do is, apparently, I guess I have some followers from Woodbridge that aren't as respectful as they should be. Jabril, I'll let you know, Jabril, which one it is. I might have to redo the channel, like rename it, like open up a new one, just so don't have those people trying to follow over a few bad apples. But we'll see how it goes. Oh wow, a bunch of Woodbridge people are over here. It's Alan. If you guys have any questions, like you feel I didn't cover anything, go ahead. I'll wait for like another 5 minutes or so before I shut off the stream. If you guys need help with anything, feel free to ask. I can go back to anything. The test tomorrow will be 10 questions on 3A, citizenship. It'll be 11 questions on 3B. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing a Q&A now. So if you have any questions, please type them in the chat, and I'm listening. I'm reading it right now. Hey, Alan, bud, how you doing? Lake Ridge is good, man. So far, it's been pretty easy, kids. Kids are doing good work. What do you mean by rules to assembly? Like, so you can gather peacefully. Yes, you have to like fill out maybe a form or something. I don't think the SOL is going to ever ask you like go into depth about that one, nor I'll answer your question in a second. But as long as you're not being like, so you fill out the paperwork, you go and protest. You could protest whatever, which is why we have KKK protests, or we have, a simple protest against a law being changed. as long as you're being peaceful about it, that's the key component. The second you start invoking violence, meaning like encouraging people to be violent, or throwing rocks, breaking windows, becoming a riot, that's when it's going to get stopped. So if that's what you're asking by rules, that's the best I could do for you there. I mean, may or specify your question. Um, if gang members filled out a proper paperwork, could they? They could, technically. Um, I don't think they would want to, maybe because they're going to be out in public. It's going to parades usually have police surrounding them. Um, yeah, normally, a gang member has committed some kind of crime, so I don't think they would do a parade. But maybe it's a good guy gang, and they just want to celebrate being a gang, so they fill out the proper paperwork and go down the street. You and now see that's the thing. So that's a good question. Does the KKK encourage violence? Or doesn't it? It does. But everybody has a right to say. They if they're literally like, I'm trying to think of how to say this. If they're spewing like to the point where things are getting too tense and heated, yes, the police will stop it. They have a right to stop crude language in a public forum. Okay, that's where your freedom of speech stops. Uh, of course you would, Caleb. Uh, But again, you have to be careful with that because if we just tell everybody, like, because we don't want to hear what they have to say, again, who gets to decide what's allowable to say and what's not? So I'm not gonna like try to defend the KKK and saying like they, we have to hear it no matter what. But you have to be very careful with saying like, we don't want to hear what they have to say. We disagree with everything they say. And then later on, what if somebody disagrees with what you have to say? Do they have the right to tell you no? You're not allowed to voice your opinion. I will try to come to the game next week. I can do that. You guys have any other questions for me for review? Like I said, it's a pretty straightforward unit. That's cool. Good job, Alan. I have nothing to comment on the Trump rally. I'm in the middle of a school year. I cannot just talk about my political affiliation. There are people who protest when they know of a KKK rally, which is their right to do so as well. So, the KKK has the right to do their little parade or whatever they want. You just have as much a right as long, assuming you follow all the rules, to protest their parade, which is what happens commonly. Luke, I was just trying to prove a point earlier. There is no such thing as a good guy gang. It was in response to a question. You guys have any other questions for the actual material though, like for citizenship or First Amendment? All right. Well, you guys have good luck. Like, hopefully the test is quick and easy. Get plenty of sleep, all that good stuff. Did any of you Woodbridge kids have any questions for me? Yes, I still talk to Mr. Larson. I am doing the political party project, but we have to do civic responsibilities and civic duties next. Then we have to do the documents and principles. Then we're doing the political party project. Um, your video. You might have to send it to me. I saved as much as I could. I don't. Did you ever download the video onto my computer, or did you just show it? So you might have to resend that to me because I don't even think I kept Zach's videos. Pokemon Go. I My wife and I played that for a couple days to try and get more walking in, and then she forgot her password, so I haven't played it since then. Am I a gamer? Yes, I have. I do play video games as a hobby. Sure, that would actually be really good, Jabril. Go ahead and do that. I play a lot of different games. Play sports games, fighting games, games on my computer. That's why you can't see my desktop because I want to make sure you didn't see what games I play. Uh, it's the same email, Jabril. It didn't change. It's just woodjt@pwcs.edu. You guys can keep asking me questions. Just what I'm gonna do right now, just in case people don't want to listen to all these questions when they're reviewing. I'm gonna turn off the stream really quick so like it'll archive the video, and then I'll keep answering questions. All right. So did you guys have anything else you wanted to ask me? Old Woodbridge or New Lake Ridge? Uh, Rotrin? I don't even know who you are, man. So you're fine. Don't worry about it. If you're just coming for the review, I uh, I already did the video. You can look at it in the archive. But if you have any questions, I can answer them while I'm here still. I still wouldn't even know who that is in the hallways. My favorite game? I haven't had much time for video games recently. I guess I used to play a lot of League of Legends. I told my class about the dab. I told them it only happens once every now and then. It's like a mystical unicorn, you know? Like it's very rare for it to appear. But thanks for trying to embarrass me. I see how you are, Jabril. Well, alright, hey Rami, we already did the review by the way. If you have any quick questions, you can ask me. But if you click on my channel, you should be able to see it, the live stream. The one I can see it right here on mine. Uh, if you just click on my name, the account name, you should be able to go back and view it. I went through the whole subject, takes about 18 minutes. I'm sticking around to answer any questions from my old students or just random questions right now. Harambe's death. Uh, don't talk. I just don't talk about it. But Rami, if you do have any questions for me that you think you just want me to answer really quick for you, I can do that too. Sure, because I'm still sad. Let's just go with that. You guys got any other questions? Material? Old Woodbridge kids? This is Citizenship and First Amendment, Alan. I told you guys I got pulled over when I was younger. You have to wait for that story some other time. Don't ruin it, Caleb. So the settlers finding freedom of religion. So we had like we were talking about when I gave you the practice citizenship test. We talked about the Mayflower. They came over to they were escaping religious persecution. So they came over here and they were they wanted to establish do their religion over here. Well, that was way before we actually had the United States. But when we finally founded our country, we were very upset with England. So we basically were like, we're going to do everything opposite of them. We don't like what they do, so we're going to do it better. And they basically said, all right, one of the things we're going to do better is we're going to have freedom of religion. So that was, incorporated. Um, so that was kind of why we have that. Um, at the time, though, when we were founding our country, basically, like the 13 colonies, it was a matter of which type of Christianity were you. Luckily, the founders wrote it in a language to it can apply and grow with our country, um, to incorporate all the different melting pot cultures that we have. Oh wow, Alex, man, all my old students. Do I like unicorns? No, but usually it sticks out in your guys' mind, so it makes it really easy to say it. The scoot and shoot. Remember giving him a hard time about scooter. Don't remember the scoot and shoot. Oh, I remember a lot of people had air balls today during review. Guys got to work on your shooting skills. I I don't know what your guys' obsession with Harambe, but just not even gonna answer that one, bud. Do you mean do I remember the football and basketball tournaments where the teachers won? Yeah, I remember that. I'm gonna do them at Lake Ridge, and then I'm gonna win again, because that's what the teachers do against students. We win. All right, well, I'm gonna look at the views that this gets, guys. You can tell me if it helped. Feel free in class or at school to let me know if this helped. I only saw about 5 to 10 Lake Ridge kids on here, and I understand it's the first time I'm doing it. It's not like it's the SOL review where a lot more kids were desperate. Um, no, I'm not dabbing next class. You got to earn that. Um, yes, you're right, Caleb. It's just a TV show thing. Um, but I'm gonna get off. I'll check the views. If enough people watch it, I'll keep doing it for every unit. Um, Jabril and Caleb, I might send you an email reply so you can be mods on the new channel because apparently we still have people who like to waste their time and come in here and cause trouble. If you guys ever get bored and want to help out again. So, alright, you guys have a good night.